This is Sybert signing into Infinity Isle once more, and Red Alert 3 because spawning on the left side as our green Soviets, this is Chris880. And on the right side as our purple Soviets from Team NACL, this is GBHMichael. This is the first ever challenge, or rather battle, from the Red3.org Grinder League. A new 1v1 league that is going to be going on for at least a little while. We're giving it a bit of a trial run, just seeing how things go, trying to iron out some of the wrinkles, because some players have been raising some concerns with it, and we have been dealing with those as needed, but anyone can participate, which if you want to learn more, if you want to join in and get your chance at some action, then you can head over to red3.org. There will also be a link in the description. And our first match is indeed a Soviet versus Soviet mirror. GBHMichael definitely going to be coming into this match as the stronger, more accomplished player, but that doesn't always mean that he's going to be the one who wins. Oh, in this particular case, that Terror Drone is going to win versus that bear, but we'll have to see if the rest of the game follows suit. Both of these guys opening up relatively similar, but as you saw, the bears for GBHMichael were far more successful. And it looks like the transition has been fully made by both of these guys into War Factory. Double Refinery is pumping for both of them as well, and GBHMichael, nope, that's just his power plant. He hasn't moved his MCV just yet. He's going to be focused more on this frontline battle, and GBHMichael has some really nice micro when he's on top of it. We can't quite say that Chris is on the same level, as unfortunately he loses his Terror Drone there, giving a pretty big advantage to GBHMichael, which will allow him to be a lot more cost-effective if he's smart with these trades. Now there's going to be the sickle jump. Will they actually be able to lock down the Terror Drone? So far the answer is no. These conscripts getting some nice damage off with their Molotov cocktails. Maybe not fantastic, but good enough as one of the sickles goes down there. And GBHMichael, he's joining up a couple of more sickles with his units. He does have those reinforcements, which is quite nice, and he is going to be able to focus down the sickles of his opponent. As you can see, Chris was the one who activated those dollar bills, y'all. He is getting himself some cash back on every unit that goes down. Ooh, this Terror Drone does get sniped. A nice catch there by GBHMichael. He doesn't want to give Chris any opportunities to come back to have cost-effective engagements and really start to win those unit battles. Still no MCV move from GBHMichael. Chris, on the other hand, repositioned in his MCV. He, of course, does not want to get that trapped by a Terror Drone, but he might be forced to pull it off the line and use it for crushes. Really nice focus firing there by GBH. Maybe not quite perfect, but good enough as he is focusing down these sickles incredibly quickly, and this is how mirror matchups can go sometimes. Yeah, the flea jump is nice, but there's not really enough infantry for it to be all that useful. The sickles, of course, don't care about the flea jump, and now that there's even a Terror Drone out here, ooh, Chris is going to be hard-pressed to actually kill off that Terror Drone before it locks down his MCV, and with two Terror Drones here and no actual units, Chris has pretty much had it into this game. His MCV may even get infected. No, this Terror Drone is just going to camp outside of the War Factory as one sickle heads down just to make sure. The GG probably getting dropped there as Chris has been defeated. And then this is a best of 3, so he is up against the ropes. And GBHMichael, he's a powerful Soviet, and there's not a lot of Soviets here. So how many times do other Soviet players really get a chance to play against a good Soviet player? Maybe not as much as they would like. And in this particular case, GBHMichael showing that he is the stronger Soviet, but that's not the end. We've got at least one more match and maybe 2 more games to head off this first best of 3. Let's jump into game number 2, which takes us to Fire Island and puts in the southern corner as the green Soviet player. This is Chris880. He is down 0-1. He needs your cheers. He needs your support. And he is going Refinery immediately. Man, that is a fast ref. But in the top right corner, going for a little bit more of a standard build just because he does have that Rax. The orange Soviet player up 1-0 from Team NACL, the saltiest clan in Red Alert 3. It's GBHMichael. Engineer, Oil Derrick, easy peasy, fast War Factory. Actually, I guess if this Terror Drone is super fast and the engineer was a little bit slower, like maybe there's a situation where the Terror Drone can actually get this far across the map. But I'm assuming it's going to be a Terror Drone. It doesn't actually have to be a Terror Drone. It could be a sickle just to help clear the infantry out. But there is the Terror Drone. And this is really just going to be trying to even things up and kind of clear out any of the bears and early infantry units that GBH has built. Because you got to think, if GBH like pumped a whole bunch of money into bears, like let's say he went 6 bears, just something silly, then, you know, this Terror Drone could be getting a lot of free kills, and that's a lot of money that GBH would have spent on basically worthless bears. So there are some scenarios where it could end up working out and being extremely cost-effective for Chris. In this particular game, I don't know about that, because the oil derrick is nice, although Chris did get his refineries up faster, and of course, he did get his war factory up faster, so he is going to have more sickle production. But that extra bit of income from GBH may end up being enough to make up for the difference. We'll have to see. Sickles are pretty cheap, so I don't know that it's necessarily exactly going to even out. But again, conscripts can really seal the deal here, especially if this Terror Drone doesn't get sniped as Chris jumps forward, tries to get the snipe on the Terror Drone, but only gets one of his sickles locked down. As you can see, those conscripts, the Molotov cocktails, are indeed powerful, and Chris is gunning for that Terror Drone, but he doesn't have the forces to clean it out, and now he's behind in sickles. He still can't really combat the conscripts just because this Terror Drone continues to lock down his sickles, which means the conscripts are actually effective. All right, this sickle going in for the gun. He does get the Terror Drone. That's a nice cleanup there by Chris, but Chris similarly loses his own Terror Drone, which of course is bad. Now GBH only has to micro against the very slow MCV, which is easy peasy. And he still remains with the sickle advantage. One more Terror Drone coming out for Chris. Production has paused. I don't know if that's intentional or a mistake. Either way, Chris is worried about microing on the front end. Goodbye sickle, but at the same time, the Terror Drone locks down the MCV anyways. And of course, Chris wants to lock down as many sickles as he can. As you can see, GBH advancing a couple of sickles at the same time just to make sure that Chris has a harder time locking down any of those sickles. But really, Chris has no easy way to engage. Every engagement that he's going to be taking is going to be difficult, and it's probably not going to be favorable, just because of the sickle numbers. Now the MCV is infected, and really, Chris, he has to win the game right here, right now. GBH has a 3rd refinery on the follow-up. He's, of course, got the oil derrick as well, which is just giving him more and more value over time. He's lower on sickles. He does have the Terror Drone, which can help him to be efficient, but really, one of the strengths of Terror Drones is in not getting sniped. You have to keep it alive, and against this many sickles, it's difficult to actually keep it alive. The focus firing, not fantastic from Chris. This sickle has been low on HP for quite some time, and he hasn't quite been able to really take it down. There's still 4 sickles, and they all have a bit of HP taken away from them. Maybe this Terror Drone gets taken out. A nice move there by Chris. But again, can he actually get any crushes with his MCV? Theoretically, yes. And theoretically, killing off those Terror Drones would allow him to get the kills with the MCV. But the MCV is so slow. It's going to be so difficult against a player who's paying attention to get those kills that you need to win the game. And now with the MCV going down, Chris has been defeated. As with an unfortunate and brutal 2-0, GBHMichael will be taking the first battle of the Red3.org Grinder League. And he will then swap places with Chris. It can be a very unforgiving system the way we have the Grinder League set up, but we've built a lot of character into it. Everything has kind of a gangster theme to it, courtesy of Inspector Rage. He did come up with quite a few creative little special rules and just the theme overall, and then he actually built this spreadsheet that manages it all as well. So Inspector Rage and myself have put in a lot of time into this conceptually. We're hoping it works out. We're hoping people enjoy it more than anything, just to provide action in between other tournaments. So hopefully that's what the Grinder League does. Again, you can check it out in the description below. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully it provides some fun and some action between tournaments and between players. But that will do it for this series. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's Soviet action. There's actually been a reasonable amount, although I haven't been uploading a reasonable amount of videos. I thought I was going to have a lot of free time this week, and then all of my free time just disappeared. And I ended up being productive in other ways, but unfortunately didn't actually get any of the Command & Conquer related things done that I wanted to get done. At any rate, thank you all very much for watching. This is Sybert, signing out.